Well, this is a test. I just farted. This is also a test. Only this time I didn't fart. Hey YouTube, sup? I just thought I'd throw another video at you. What the heck, may as well, right? It's van life, you want to see what's going on? Show you what's going on. Anyways, doing the van life thing. I guess it depends on how far you travel every day. Would depend on how often you would check this. But out of habit, being a truck driver, I usually check this thing every day before I take off. Once in a while I skip it because, you know, I haven't driven anywhere. So, but if I do a journey of well, even just 100 or 150 kilometers, I like to make sure that everything is on the up and up. So here goes. Behind the scenes, this is what goes on. I guess really this is van life, so it shouldn't be behind the scenes. It should actually be a part of the program, right? Right? Yeah. I guess this is the kind of stuff that you guys want to see. Anyway, let's get at her. All right. First order of business. You want to check your engine oil. You look for the oil dipstick. If you don't know where that is, look it up in your manual that you should have with you. Anyways, while the engine is either cold or it has sat for a little while, you want to check the oil. You don't want to check it right after you shut it down because you won't get an accurate reading. So, anyways, the proper way. Take the dipstick out. Wipe it off. Put the dipstick back in to the bottom, like so. Then take it out. And then check the level and see how it is. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Mine's good. It's just at the full mark. And that's how you check your oil. Now, if you aren't sure, because for whatever reason, check 2, 3, 4, 5 times. How many times it takes until you know for sure. And if you do need to add any, there's usually a filler plug. Mine is right here. Even says on it. Hey, look at that. Great big letters. 710. Next thing you want to check is the coolant level. Most new vehicles in the last, well, 50 years have had jugs like this. So what it is the jug is hooked in to your radiator by this little teeny line. So when your radiator is cold, there might not be a whole lot of fluid in here, right? So, but when you first check, you should always check to make sure there's at least some in there. Now what this does is it prevents air from getting into your cooling system, into your radiator and into your hoses and stuff like that. So when it expands, the coolant does not just get dripped down onto the ground like the old school way, but when it expands, it now goes into these things here. And of course, when it's hot, the level is going to be higher, right? Because water and stuff like that expands when it gets heated up. So, and when it cools off, it sucks this back down in, and it keeps the air out of the system, because that's the last thing you want is air in your system. That will cause a lot of hot spots and could lead to engine damage if not taken care of properly. So that's your cooling system. And if you do have to add any, do not, under any circumstances, open the rad cap until the engine is cold. Because if you open it when it's hot, it will explode into your face and probably burn out your eyeballs. So do not open this when it's hot. Unless you're a crazy mechanic and use a couple of rags and then you give it a twist. But you didn't hear that from me. Now, another important thing. check your battery. Most batteries are sealed, so you don't have to worry about the level. When they die, you just replace them, of course. But make sure your terminals are good and tight. Mine I had to tighten up the other day because I went to start it and it just went click. So that told me it's a brand new battery, so it was just probably a loose connection, right? So, and a lot of times you will see wires coming off of the ground to different grounds on the engine, and that's just to help ground the system out, so you're supplying the proper 12 volts to your system. So, and make sure it's secure. This is not secure. I need to, well, the base is here, but I still need to rebuild this, but that's another story. Anyway. Now, whilst you have your hood open, it's always good to check things. Loose wiring. Gee, I wonder what that was for. Oh, who knows? Oh, it's some stupid ground. Anyway, while you're under here, you might just as well check your hoses. I need to get some new ones. Your coolant hoses, your fan belt, check to make sure it's okay. Take a close look at it if you can. I know in some vans it's almost impossible. On mine it's not. Check to make sure that there's no serious cracks or anything in it. This belt is pretty much new. Right? Just make sure everything's secure where it should be. Alright. So, now that you've checked everything underneath the hood to make sure everything is okay, don't bother closing the hood. Just leave it open for now. On to the next thing. Okay, so all the levels are checked. Everything seems to be good. Your next step, fire it up. Now, as your vehicle is running, you want to check to make sure that everything's looking proper in there. You don't want any wobbly flywheels or, hoses or lines touching fan belts, shit like that. Just make sure it's all good. Also, check underneath, take a look on the ground, and see if you spot anything dripping. If you do, shut it off right away, find out where the drip is from, and get it fixed before it turns into a major problem. Alright, so you got everything under the hood checked. Good. Now, you can either do this with your engine running or you can shut it off, doesn't matter. Well, I shut mine off because it takes a while to film all this. I'm not wasting the gas at $1.42.9 now a liter. Thieving pricks. Yeah, expensive gas. Anyway, I trust my battery. It's brand spank me new. It's only like 2 months old. Yeah, something like that. Brand new when I bought it. So, next thing you want to check is to make sure that all your lights are working. So, in order to do that, oh, there's that lovely wind again, eh? Woohoo! Turn your headlights on. Now, doesn't matter, right or left blinker. Let's start with the one on the left. All right. So, come to the front of the vehicle. Check. Turn signal's working. Headlights are on. Now turn it to the right. And on this old girl, yes indeed, that's the high beam switch. For those of you who were born after 1981. Anyway, so you get the other turn signal on and the high beams are on. Now, check to make sure that they're going. All right. Excuse the wind noise and the engine noise. All right, now there should be clearance lights. Check your tires, make sure that they're okay. You don't see any breaks in the sidewall, tread is good, you know, no scuffs, they got enough air. If you're not sure, check it with a gauge. All right, same over here on this one. Check the tire, make sure it's all good. Check your lugs, make sure they're tight. Come to the back, we have a clearance light. All right, we have tail light. We have a turn signal on this side. All right, on this side, same deal. Clearance lights. I hope you can hear me. Check your tire, make sure it's okay. Check the general condition of the body of the vehicle, make sure everything's all right there. Check the front. Make sure that tire is okay. Lots of air, good tread, so on and so forth. And we have a light that's out. So, but yeah, of course you've checked that. There's one more to do. We switch this to the right. And yes, we do to the right. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. I don't know my left from my right. Turn to the left, and of course it's working back here. Yes, I know that looks pretty weird. I'm talking about the propane. This strap is not what's holding it in. Underneath, it's anchored. This just keeps it from rattling. Yeah, sometimes you got to do this kind of stuff, right? So there you go. Okay, one last step. Check your brakes. I have a walking stick that I keep with me all the time, and it's perfect for this job. So what you do when you're by yourself, if you got help, this is great, but if you don't, this is what I do. Put one end on the brake pedal, then the other one. I can do this with camera, like so. And there we have it. 1-2 brake lights. Let's turn off the signal, turn off the headlights, shut the motor down, take a sip of my coffee. And there you go. And there you have it. That's pretty much all you got to do. Just make sure that your vehicle's in good shape, especially if you're doing a lot of miles, because man, the last thing you want is to have to do a major engine repair because the oil was low, your coolant was empty, whatever reason you damaged your engine, or even drivetrain wires or tire wise. I guess that's drivetrain wise, you know. Make sure your tires are in good shape, because you don't want to be calling a tow truck out in the middle of you know what, out in the middle of nowhere. You don't want to be calling a tow truck and paying an outrageous price for that guy to come along and tow you back because your spare is also out of air. Things would get very expensive, and that's one thing I did miss. Check your spare tire. Make sure there's air in the spare, because it ain't gonna do you any good without any air. That does make sense, right? Yeah, okay. Anyways, there you have it. It's as easy as that. Just a quick check. Even if you just do a quick one every time you fuel up is a good idea. Pop that hood open. Make it a habit. You start filling the tank full of fuel, you pop open the hood and start checking. It's as easy as that. It took me all of what? Well, normally if I'm not filming it, it would only take me about 2 minutes max to do that. And if you're living the van life, then I think you can afford the 2 minutes. But then again, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. So there. Anyway, that's it for our little safety lesson for the day. Hope it was useful. Hope it was entertaining. And if it was neither one, sorry about that. Anyway, by all means do subscribe, hit the like button, mash the bell. That way you know when I put up another video. And yeah, it's just time to get out of this heat before it gets really bad. So stay safe and safe travels, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I'm mumbling. We will see you in the next video.